Can you have joy even in the depth of sorrow? You can. And you'll find out how in the next episode of 5 Minutes Closer. I'm Vaughn Weatherford, and this is 5 Minutes Closer. For the next 5 minutes, let's explore some biblical truths and apply them to your life. No podcast, including this one, can transform your life or give you what you really need. Only Jesus can do that. You can find out why in what I've called the first five episodes of 5 Minutes Closer. Each following episode explores scriptural truths that, if you follow them, will bring you 5 minutes closer to the person God created you to be. Let's see if we can get you 5 minutes closer. Danny Scarth was the all-American boy growing up. In high school, he was handsome, popular, funny, and athletic. He had it all. Actually, he had more. He grew up in a strong Christian home, attended a Bible-believing church, and had a real growing faith in Jesus Christ. He had it all and then some. Danny was a star football player, a linebacker playing at a high level. He received a scholarship from the Trinity University, where he looked forward to playing college football, maybe even pro one day. He had the world by the tail. The summer before he left for college, he attended a youth camp called Camp Sagamore, at the time one of the premier Christian youth camps in America. The camp preacher brought messages of inspiration and challenge with the theme, "This is a perfect opportunity to trust the Lord." It became a catchphrase at the camp. Somebody would drop their food tray at lunch and another camper would call out, "This is a perfect opportunity to trust the Lord." Somebody would trip and fall into a mud puddle and somebody would yell out, "This is a perfect opportunity to trust the Lord." Danny loved the whole experience. 2 weeks later, he headed to preseason practice with his new football team. During one of the first workouts with pads, Danny decided to show his coaches they made the right decision in bringing him on the team. The offense ran their running back through the line, but Danny was ready. He put his head down and drove the opposing player right into the ground. It was the perfect tackle, except for one thing. Danny couldn't move anything from his neck down. He immediately sensed what might have happened. As his teammates ran over to help him to his feet, Danny told them, "Don't move me. I think I may have broken my neck." His coaches immediately called medical personnel, who transported Danny by ambulance to a hospital in San Antonio, Texas. After several hours of tests, one of the emergency doctors came in and sat down beside Danny's bed with the horrible news that Danny's neck was, in fact, broken. Danny asked what any 18-year-old athlete would ask in that situation: "Will I ever be able to play football again?" The doctor looked at Danny and shook his head. He didn't sugarcoat the situation. "Son, not only will you not play football, but I don't think you'll ever walk again." Danny described the next several hours as the worst in his life. He went through the absolute pits of despair. All of his dreams had ended with that one tackle. Everything he'd hoped for had been taken away. But in the midst of that darkness, one of the nurses noticed that Danny was smiling. She asked him why. "I just remembered something," Danny said. "This is a perfect opportunity to trust the Lord." Danny did exactly that for the rest of his life. I heard Danny give that testimony dozens of times. He shared it at every opportunity he could. His story gave hope to people in every situation of life, from prison inmates to fellow spinal injury patients. Though his legs were paralyzed, his faith never was. His life was a demonstration of James' words in James 1:2-4. There James writes, "Count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds. For you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. And let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing." I don't pretend to know what you're facing today, but I do know this: whatever it is, it's a perfect opportunity to trust the Lord. Whatever despair you may be facing, it's an opportunity to see Jesus work, to let Jesus work through you, to encourage others around you who might be facing the same challenges or worse. Think you can't possibly do that? You can. And now you're 5 minutes closer. My prayer is that these 5 minutes have challenged you, inspired you, and caused you to consider applying God's message for your life from His Word. To find out more, visit our website at 5minutescloser.com. Join me next time to see if we can get you 5 minutes closer.